now we straight chillin', serial killing, pre-cold villains on the mic, got you reeling. 5-star rated from the floor to the ceiling. If you catch a 1-star, no time for feelings. Got a demon DJ on the ones and twos by the name Beelzebub, so don't get confused. So grab a seat by the fire, roast them all over two, and prepare to hear the legend of the straight chillin' crew.
What up, nerds, and welcome to another creamy episode of Straight Chilling, the weekly horror movie review show where you chill and we kill, slice, dice, and chop up yet another horror movie. My name is Bob. I'll be your host for the evening. This is episode 487, recorded on Sunday, July 28th, 2024. Tonight, we're talking about the winner of the July poll, which was Ice Cream Man from 1995. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show. First up, calling in from Washington, D.C., we got your boy Randeezy. What's up, man?
Ding, 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 ding.
How's it going, buddy? Good to talk to you. Good to see you. Ready to talk some cream today. You know how they say that the cream rises. Well, today
I
that is
am
absolutely
the
true.
cream.
Well, I mean, of course.
I am the cream.
Can't stop me from rising straight to the top.
Goddamn straight.
Last but not least, calling in from Seoul, South Korea, we got your boy Soju. What's up, man?
Oh, what up? It's your boy, the Ice Cream Man Kang, 'cause he mixes it with blood and makes the world taste good. Stains.
Does anyone want to switch seats?
I'll switch seats with you, Randy. I'll sit right in your lap.
Okay,
Ooh,
that's you're playing right into my hands, but that's fine.
playing right into my lap.
With some sloppy cream. I'm bringing my sloppy cream with me, Randy. I hope that's okay.
Well, I mean, we all need lube.
God damn. I know how you kids like them extra sloppy.
Nope,
Damn
I like
straight.
it dry. Just super dry.
Vengeance will be mine, blowhole.
I like my ice cream dry.
And I
Weird.
only eat it if it sticks to my tongue. I have to break it apart with a hammer.
I prefer dry cream.
Got those Dippin' Dots all day.
Ooh.
Before we continue on this cream train, let's tackle a little bit of housekeeping real quick, gentlemen. Here's your final reminder. Well, really, by the time you listen to this, it's the last day of the month, so it probably doesn't matter much anymore. But the August poll is still posted on our Patreon website. If you guys support us at the $5 level or above, you get the chance to vote on a movie we're talking about this August. The movies are all Del Toro joints, and they are The Devil's Backbone, Pan's Labyrinth, and Crimson Peak.
Whoa, Bob, heading into August. How are those numbers looking?
Bucking August already. Pan's Labyrinth, first place with 55% of the vote. Still a dead heat for second place. Devil's Backbone and Crimson Peak both have 23%.
Okay. All right.
God damn.
And I
Things are
can't
just
wait for
moving
you guys to see the exciting poll we have for August, which I definitely remember.
It's gonna be out of this world.
Whoa, it's crazy choices.
It took me a
Oh
second,
my
but I do
God.
actually remember it.
I do
Oh
not.
There's
my God.
There are some good picks on there.
I'm
We only
sure.
pick bullshit.
I just
I
can't
promise.
remember at all.
That's fair. Get excited about that. In other Patreon news, we're dropping mini casts every other Friday. We just dropped one talking about Oddity, which is probably still in theaters. If it's no longer in theaters, it'll be hitting Shudder later this year. Definitely one worth checking out. Next up, this Friday, the 2nd, August 2nd, your boy Soju's finally going to be talking about Sting. I feel like we've been teasing
Promoting
this
that one
episode
I'm over
for a
month,
while.
I feel like.
Yeah. Finally coming out.
There
It's
we
all
go.
happening.
Finally coming out. My
Yeah,
God.
so you have lots of warnings to watch this film. And it's good. I actually think it's a sneaky one for the year. Like, just yeah, I liked it a lot actually. So is Oddity.
Scariest
Oddity. We
film.
got a lot of sneaky mini cast coming out for top quality horror of 2024.
They're gonna jump out and scare the shit out of you. They're very,
Yeah,
very
it's just
sneaky.
sneaking. It's just so sneaky.
Sneaking
Very.
up on
God.
Very
I-
sneaky.
I be sneaking.
Cool.
you. Yeah.
Last thing I got is we are going to be doing a Joe Bob watch party this Friday the 2nd, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you guys want to hang out with us and join in on the fun, I'll drop a link on all of our social media outlets just before showtime. Click on that. Come hang out via Zoom. We'll watch some Joe Bob and talk some shit.
Whoa, Joe Bob. He's still kicking,
Talking
huh?
about shit.
Still kicking.
Huh?
Man.
He's not dead yet? What?
My God. Somebody's
What a
got
surprise.
Joe Bob in the death pool today.
That's all I got. Dudes, you have anything you want to plug?
I do, actually, for once. Yeah. Much same as you, Bob. I was recently an esteemed guest from our good friend Caitlin over at the Plug It Up podcast. She wasn't quite done talking about I Saw the TV Glow, so we got together and started chatting a little bit more on that. As fans of this show might remember, I had quite a lot to say about that movie, and she felt like she wanted to get in on that some more. So there's an episode that I believe by the time this drops, it will have dropped the day before, if I remember correctly, or sometime right around then. Keep an eye out for Plug It Up podcast. And yeah, it should be a good time. We had a good conversation.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Looking
That's all
forward
I
to
got,
hearing
though. Yeah.
Cool.
Anything from you guys? You guys all set, right? All right.
I'm good.
This house is clean.
All right, boys. It's time for the segment that we do every single week on this show and have for the past 10 years, Screaming and Creaming.
That's goddamn right.
Oh, oh, yes, yes, yes. Oh, 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 God.
I want to make this abundantly clear that Rob was the person who sifted through all that pornography for that bump, not myself.
Well, yes, boys, time for our weekly segment that we do every week, Screaming and Creaming. I'm here with the brand new cream this week. This one we're going to start off with is an Ice Cream Sammy,
Ooh.
which theme is cheese and crackers. So the ice cream is specifically yellow cheese flavored, and the outside is like a cracker flavor, and like the little picture on there is like a little picnic blanket, if you can see there.
Interesting.
And they got the cheese
I can get down on that.
right there. Yeah.
Have you ever
so
had this before?
I've never had this before. I've
That
never had this
sounds
before.
wild.
All right,
Yeah.
hit it. Hit it.
So,
Let's find out what this bad boy tastes like.
Here we go. Scream it. Is it going to be what?
A
No,
s-
no. I'm
a
trying
scream or a cream?
Yeah, I just
Is it a scream or is it a
Is
cream?
it a
What's
scream or a creamer?
You got to tell us, buddy.
Mukbang for us right now.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
yeah.
ASMR
Oh.
that shit. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's going everywhere.
Mm. It's cheesy, which is kind of
Going
weird.
it?
But honestly, like, yeah, the sweetness, but then there's a little crunch of the Sammy part, which is interesting. The ice cream is smooth and creamy, but it's cheesy. It's cheesy. It even looks like there's like little chunks of possible cheese in there. So it's kind of
Possible
weird.
Damn.
cheese. Oh fuck.
Mm.
I love that possible cheese.
I'm
God damn.
I'm just having a little picnic right here.
All right,
Screaming
so
and
it sounds like
cream.
it might be a cream and not a scream.
Let me finish it and I'll get back to you.
Okay, all right. We're gonna sit patiently and watch this entirely go down.
Bite,
No,
bite,
no, we'll
bite.
continue.
We're gonna silently watch you consume.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we'll decide if it's a scream or a cream by the end of this episode. I'll let you know.
All right.
Nice.
Mm,
Okay.
Interesting. Never had a cheesy cream.
mm.
It's evaded me, but
Yeah,
sounds.
I do have a question about it. Is savory or not savory?
Mm,
Somewhere in between? Savory or sweet? Or
I mean, it's yellow. I mean, the Sammy part is sweet, but with the crunch. And then the cream is more smooth, but I would say it leans savory on the main flavor
Ah,
of the
interesting.
cream.
That,
nice.
that the Americans are just not prepared for such things, I suppose.
even though it's cheese. So really,
Yeah, I
we
know.
are
Like
very
that's the
prepared.
one.
And
that's
ice
the
cream.
one- Somehow, the idea of combining the two most like things that Americans love to eat has never crossed our minds. I guess. I don't know.
Dairy with a little more dairy is just like
Yeah, can I get some
can't-
dairy in that?
can't
Dairy,
do it.
please? Oh, a little sugar. Oh wait, no, like a little more dairy though. Some
No.
salt.
But what we are down with is chocolate covered bacon crumbles on top of ice cream.
That's what this
fun.
is
Yeah, I
really
mean, that's-
missing, the bacon.
That's America to me.
Flag eagle.
You know, this needs more pork.
You know what? To be honest, I don't think I'd get this again. I'll probably finish it, but
Oh shit.
I might give it the screaming.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Perfect. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just as we do every week.
Every week. Thanks,
We all know how
Juice,
this goes.
for the consistency of your segment that everybody knows and loves.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Mhm.
All right, boys, let's go ahead and get into the main event. We are talking Ice Cream Man, and we're kicking it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
Bob, you had this box.
I do have this box. Vinegar Syndrome put this out a few years ago on Blu-ray. You can get this really easily.
Ice cream man. Now, Bob, my eyes aren't what they used to be coming into my, early mid 20s here, but that box is not blue.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's
black.
well, it's the case is clear, and then yeah, the art is black, but it is a Blu-ray. It's got a
Gosh,
Blu-ray and a
I-
DVD.
I'm sorry, are we just unfamiliar with the way these products even work now?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay, all right.
How can it be a Blu-ray? The case is clear.
I feel that this is false advertising. And
better
I think
send
we have
that
a
back.
case.
Mhm.
We're going to take
Vinegar
this all the way to the
Syndrome.
Supreme Court, and they're going to use it to take away rights somehow. Anyway,
Ice Cream Man from 1995. This, if you are interested in picking this up on Blu-ray, like it's really easy to find. It's not out of print. It's affordable, like probably $15. It's got a bunch of really nice bonus features. I watched a handful of these. It's got a commentary track with the director. It's got the Monster Vision episode of this with
Where did Bob go wrong? Were he and his friends sifting way too long through those Blu-ray bins? And it gets worse, he'll have no jet ski, wasting all his dough on those DVDs.
we're playing the hits tonight, boys.
we are
All right,
playing
if
the
this
hits.
is your first time listening to Straight Chillin', this is the segment in which we give Bob a ton of shit for buying so many goddamn Blu-rays.
That's right.
Bob, it's the end of July, and we were just wondering how many blues you bought this month.
It's been a heavy month.
Oh, heavy,
Oh.
heavy flow, huh?
So you're measuring by weight at this point, is what I'm hearing.
Not individual discs.
It might be 15, 16 pounds. I
Bob,
don't know.
do you think it's higher than 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you didn't have to
There
think
was-
about that shit.
There was no air between the question and the answer there. None at
Yeah.
all.
Bob, do you think
It's-
it's higher than 30?
So, well, let me probably, but
Skip
let
to the
me
end.
clarify. So, I've probably bought as many VHS tapes this month as I have Blu-rays.
What?
I've,
I'm sorry. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
What?
You're gonna have to you're just gonna have to break this one on down.
Oh boy.
Have you been thrifting, or are these collectible type things?
So I bought some of them cheap off eBay that are, they're just old tapes being sold secondhand. And then I did find
Wow.
this guy that's putting out like brand new movies on VHS with like custom art and stuff. And I bought a handful of those too.
Those
but I
are
don't
not
wanna,
cheap, my friend.
No, those are not.
That's not cheap at all.
We need
Yeah,
to clarify it.
Those are
yeah,
not cheap.
not cheap, except for the visual quality. It's quite cheap.
Randy. I'll talk more about that on the upcoming episode of Let's
Oh,
Get Physical.
Oh,
with You,
I'm
though.
sorry.
Just a little
I'm
teaser.
sorry. Oh,
But it's been a
I'm
heavy-
sorry.
It's been a heavy month.
So we talk 40, higher than 40. Oh God.
God damn, we could have really played a game with this one. Apparently, Rob is very cagey about the numbers here.
It's probably all things considered around 35. Yeah, probably.
I wonder if you would have broke the old numbers, Bob. You used to think those kind of numbers were insane. And
I know.
here we
I
are a few
said
years
that.
later. You did say
I was
that.
on the record saying
On
that.
record. What am I, a crazy
Buy that
person?
for $1.
Maybe.
I'm out of control.
Maybe Halloween
thought-
season, but
I bought 2 discs, and one of them had a second disc.
the
Oh,
middle
my
of
word.
summer? Certainly not. Those are crazy numbers.
Only crazy people would do that. I'm fucking
I can.
insane.
Speaking of no air between things, I'm looking at the back shelf there, man, and there is no wall. There just
I
is
remember
no
when you
wall.
first moved in, we're like, Bob, you got a ways to go. You had some good new shows. Dude, that was like 2 months ago.
Yeah, that was max 2 months.
Bob cannot allow space.
I have a problem.
I have to fill holes, guys, okay?
Man.
I
Okay,
do-
well, we're not going to take that to its natural conclusion, are we? I hope not.
I do have trypophobia, boys. I gotta fill them holes.
Gotta feel the whole. Rob's walking around with a fucking putty knife and some caulking.
Anyway, we are talking about Ice Cream Man from 1995.
I know.
This disc does have the Monster Vision episode with Joe Bob from the 90s, and he has Clint Howard on, so you can watch it just as it aired in the 90s, which was pretty cool. I checked that out. There's a bunch of interviews as well on here. This is rated R with a runtime of 1 hour and 26 minutes, directed by Norman Apstein, written by David Dobkin and Sven Davison. This stars Clint Howard, JoJo Adams, Justin Isfeld, Andy McAfee, Mikey LeBeau, Steve Garvey, Olivia Hussey's in here as well. David Naughton's in here. David Warner's in here. There's some familiar faces. A touch of star power, as some might say. Plot synopsis brought to you by the back of the box is as follows. Gregory, the local ice cream man, just wants people to be nice to him and to sell the neighborhood children his ice cream treats. Unfortunately, the adults disrespect him and the kids fear him. So as any recently released mental patient would do, Gregory begins brutally murdering anyone who prevents him from having a happy day. Nice. Gentlemen, have you seen this movie before, and would you recommend folks check it out? Randy, kick us off.
Yeah, I had seen this movie. God, I genuinely can't remember when. It must have been over 10 years ago now, I think, at this point. And it was one that I was not keen on at all. I would say that my position on that has softened, and I think that if you're a schlock hound, you'd have a good time with this. But this is not a broad appeal sort of movie by any means, so that's about where that ends for recommendations.
Randy's going soft serve on us. We'd love
That's
to see
right.
it.
I don't like that hard pack, baby. Not big on it.
Dude, we need to talk about that. We'll get into
We
it.
did, yeah. Juice, what about you?
Yeah, I had seen this before. I think at Rob's house not too long ago, maybe for the first time. I don't know. I remember us watching it at your place, and I think that was the first time I had seen it. And yeah, I'm kind of with Randy on this one. You know what? It really this is 95. It really reminded me of some like Are You Afraid of the Dark quality type stuff, just taken a little further to like adulthood. Erie, Indiana was one I talked about. I watched a couple years ago. That like it just got that vibe. It's very 90s to me. So not a hard recommend, but it's super campy. I think people can have some fun with this, but it's not like a just general recommend. You got to be really looking for some campy 90s stuff to really enjoy this one, I think. Bob, how about you? Would you recommend people check this out?
Yeah, I do recommend it. So this was my takeover month, and I chose just 3 wacky ass movies. And
I forgot about that.
I forgot
This
that
is
too.
very
I
Yeah.
forgot it was your takeover movie.
yeah,
Well, this really is a pile of garbage. Bob, what do you think about this?
I
This
really
is-
resent the choice here. I mean, it really affronts me as a human being and a person.
Bob.
good. This is my fault. Yeah, I really like this movie. I do recommend it. This is straight to video 1990s schlock. So it has that look and that vibe. But I think for what it is and what it's successful in what it's trying to do, and if you're in the mood for something like that, I think you'll have a good time with it. I dig it and generally do recommend it.
All right.
But across the board, that sounds like a really, really soft, melty ass recommend.
Which is appropriate.
It matches. It matches the consistency of the cream scene in the film. So
Jesus. So
Yeah.
sloppy.
Talk more
so
about
sloppy.
that. All right, yeah. So we're gonna be spoiling the shit out of the Ice Cream Man, and here comes your warning.
Spoiler warning.
Whoa, Bob. You got that plot synopsis?
I do indeed. Come along this journey with me. Here we go. In 1960s Los Angeles, young Gregory Tudor witnesses his local ice cream man get murdered in a drive-by. Jump forward to 1995, we see Gregory is now taken over the ice cream man's business, using his truck and his parlor to sell sweet treats laced with insects and human body parts.
That's illegal, right?
Yeah, it's a felony.
It's a felony.
Yes.
Wow.
One night, Gregory kills a dog that belongs to his landlord, who's also a nurse that treated him for his childhood trauma. That same night, a boy named Roger goes missing. The other neighborhood kids, Johnny, Heather, and Tuna, suspect Gregory has something to do with Roger's disappearance. Soon after, another boy named Small Paul disappears. The kids can't prove anything, so the police don't take their claims seriously. We also see several flashbacks of young Gregory at a sanitarium. The kids discover Roger and Small Paul have been imprisoned at Gregory's dingy ice cream factory. Small Paul takes an interest in the macabre creamery, and Gregory takes him under his wing. Two detectives investigate the Wishing Well Sanitarium and find the doctors and administrators are all insane and the patients are roaming freely, causing chaos. The detectives now believe the kids' claims and begin looking for Roger and Small Paul. Gregory then kidnaps Tuna while Heather asks Johnny's older brother to help them with their investigation. Gregory quickly kills the brother and his girlfriend. Small Paul baits Gregory with a picture of the previous ice cream man and tricks him into falling into a giant-ass mixer and being dismembered. Roger and Tuna reunite with their friends while Small Paul is sent away to therapy. The last scene of the movie shows Small Paul alone in a dark room churning ice cream in a bucket with a twisted little smile on his face.
Ice
Roll
cream man,
credits.
ice cream man.
That's Small
All right.
Paul Wall to you, Bob.
Small Paul, he's got a grill. That's how this movie is.
He used to be a small Paul. Now he's a tall Paul. Yeah, this is a strange little flick. I think that the idea. This is another film that's like absolutely built for group viewing, and we do ourselves no services by watching these in isolation. Bob, did you get a chance to watch it with anybody?
Yeah, I watched it with Alice, and as soon as the credits rolled, she just said, "That's not a good movie."
Well, that's a good woman
And
right
you
there,
chose
Bob.
to recommend it. Okay.
I know how to pick them.
I really regret my decisions in life now, says Alan.
Yeah, it's really giving me some real second thoughts.
What
about
have
a
I
lot of things.
done?
As the foundation of her new home collapses under the weight of the blues.
I feel I've made some tactical errors.
Oh God.
There's always
What
money
have I
in the
done?
blues.
There's
This is my
always,
retirement.
there's always money going to the blues. There's a difference. And the VHSs somehow.
Apparently, somehow.
I got a problem.
Yeah, we know. So yeah, this so one thing I want to point out, because I don't want to forget it, is I am not the guy who typically notices the music, the soundtrack of
Yeah,
a film. But dude, this thing was kind of pissing me off at some points. It's so obnoxious.
I love
It's
it.
not just like, oh, this wasn't very good. This is like,
No,
this is pissing me off.
It was kind of pissing me off.
It's
It's like
pissing me
off
off
a
a
little
little
bit.
bit.
Perfect.
But dude, it was just it's so keyboard and it's just
Yeah.
screeching. Sometimes it's like choir and like harsh strings, but it's like so cheap sounding. It's so fucking loud. Jesus Christ.
I
It's
watched
terrible. The soundtrack of this is terrible.
It's not great. I one of the things I watched on the disc I have is an interview with the director, and one of the things he said was, prior to this, he directed a shitload of porn. This was his first movie, like movie.
That makes a lot
Man,
of sense.
And-
that so tracks. Yeah.
right.
Like nothing I'd ever smelled before in my life.
In
my
the
life.
interview, he was like, I think my biggest regret was that I didn't know enough to realize the score wasn't good.
Oh, really?
Well, he was like,
That's
not that it wasn't
adorable.
good, but it didn't match the movie. He wasn't like shitting on the composer. He's like, it didn't match, I guess.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
both.
know. I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, he's correct.
Yeah.
I've got a rule about constructive feedback, and all the questions I have end with "what the fuck." So I don't know.
Oof.
Yeah. This movie feels like it's like a Skinamax porn without like the sexy scenes. It does it feels like that a little
It's
bit.
got some.
It's got no nudity, but yeah, it's got the dude that's just like having the most out in the open affair, and the parents across the board in this
Dude.
movie's nuts. But like
Dude, the
That
hats are
guy-
nuts.
I
that
cannot
guy's
keep
banging
track.
on a diving board.
Yeah.
The Heather's parents are probably the craziest. Her dad is a preacher man, and he's like delivering
Dude, that
a sermon with like stigmata hands, and his wife is foaming at the mouth, and he's like, the archangel's speaking through your mom again, and she's just
Jesus.
having a seizure. It's like,
Dude, that
Dude,
shit was
yeah.
fucked up. I forgot.
so fucking
Completely
weird.
forgot about that.
And
Yeah.
that's David Warner, by the way, that actor who like recently passed and is like a very fucking cool character actor who's been like he was like in Titanic and shit. Like he's in some big fucking. He was in Twin Peaks, of course,
Of
but
course.
like I'm not in the best parts of Twin Peaks, I'll tell you that. But he was definitely he's in a billion things, and it's just so weird that this guy is all over the map. He's just looking for work, I guess, at this time, and just taking whatever because this is bizarre. It's bizarre that they chose to include that at all. I don't know if like
It's so strange.
yeah,
I
it
feel
doesn't.
like sorry, go ahead.
It's a total non sequitur. Like it doesn't really play into the movie at all. It's just like jarring as fuck.
It is really.
The only thing I can think of about that is like this movie does have, if you want to be hyper generous, and I'm feeling it, like some themes about mental health. Not the best handled shit, but like it does seem to be critical about how the mentally unsound are treated in society or in captivity or whatever. Captivity being like I don't know how you describe like in
I
an
don't think
institution.
that's the way.
Well, they're captives.
Not-
like
Well,
Not in a petting zoo, Randy.
I mean, they are literally captives, is what I meant. But
yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's just like I don't think that there really is a point to that, other than they're just raising it to raise it because that's central to the core character of the Ice Cream Man, and it's everything kind of hinges on him being loony and being mistreated and all this other shit. Like they lay a lot of groundwork for this fucking character psychosis, and it does not all track. I want to point that out.
Well, I do. One of the things that's interesting about talking about how ridiculous some of it gets is it does really kind of like stick with and approach it from that point of view of the kids kind of point of view, which is really why it resonates with that idea of like, are you afraid of the dark? And and you know, like
That's
Erie,
very
Indiana
apt,
and
by
stuff
the
that
way.
yeah, because like, you know, the kid, everything is played to an extreme from the kid's perspective. And so like as an adult, you're watching, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? But I mean, from the kid's like, oh, my dad's not being responsible and my mom is having a seizure and I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm a kid. And that's kind of
Parents just don't
scary and weird.
understand. Yeah.
And then the parents not listening to their kid because they're fighting over an affair. And then the other kid whose brother is fucking insane, the cop who
The
we'll get
faux
to
cop,
in
not
Cooter,
even.
He
yeah,
wants to be a cop. Yeah.
Cooter of the
Yeah.
week. I love. He's like, I got the
mean,
gun,
future
the
officer of the
badge.
year right there.
Well, come later, I was like, whoa, we're predicting some
Like,
shit here.
man, yeah. Like, did Ice Cream Man predict 2024?
But yeah,
When
just the kid's perspective was it was an interesting take for a movie that goes so kind of hard like this.
that is a good point. The older brother, whenever the kids take his camera and he freaks the fuck out, I was like, nudies. The camera's
Nudies,
loaded
Developing
with
my
nudies.
pictures.
Somebody has that man's nudes right now.
It's
Somebody's
me.
got his little mangled pee dick on the camera
Oh,
right now.
mangled.
God.
He
I
hauls
mean,
ass
gotta be the
to
way he whips that pistol around. Gotta be.
he hauls
Um,
ass to the camera shop, and the way they're developing the pictures, they're like in the window.
public.
Like,
Yeah, what the fuck is that? Was that ever a thing?
I
mean,
don't know. I
I've had
honestly don't
pictures
know.
developed. I was around for that era to some extent.
They were usually like behind the counter.
yeah,
I mean, you
Yeah,
could
like,
still
the-
get pictures developed.
yeah.
Like, why would anybody want their private photos out? I mean, it looked
No,
like
yeah, I
the
don't know.
machine, the machine that was actually developing them was in the window, maybe,
yeah.
but that's not how that works. At least
No.
not from what I
You-
can recall.
Dark rooms be damned, right? Just have the sun
Yeah.
blast those things.
Yeah, we want to sun bleach these fresh prints right away. I don't know, but
Yeah.
that was very fucking weird. But I wanted to point out, like, I agree with you about like the Are You Afraid of the Dark comparison. I thought Goosebumps the series. I was
Mhm.
thinking the same sort of thing. It's like a too hot for TV Are You Afraid of the Dark, or a too mild for HBO Tales from the
Yeah.
Crypt. It's somewhere in that valley,
It
and
is
I just
weird.
feel like it's very, very strange cadence where it doesn't really. I'm not really sure what the audience truly is, other than just like people looking for ridiculous shit on VHS.
That's a good point. I mean, I guess it's okay enough for kids kind of to watch, like some maybe like early teens.
Marionetting heads. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, those
I don't
heads
know.
were great.
They
The
look
heads,
cool.
there's the heads in the ice. He's got the first one like in the ice cream cone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's all very schlocky. I mean, it's the first one. He's got the ice cream. And it's got bugs in it, and
Yeah.
there's a mouse crawling around, and then it's got little like clearly fake
Right.
like parts in it, and the dude's got the eyeball that
The
he's
eyeball.
squishing around in his mouth. It's just
I love that.
it's very hokey. It's
Yeah.
very
Mhm.
over the top. But yeah, it's nothing too like, yeah, you have some heads, but it's not like Terrifier where he's sawing somebody's head off
No,
and
it's
then
not
like,
visceral at all.
no,
it's
no.
schlock.
It's
Like,
very
yeah.
goofy, very goofy.
It's very, very silly. It did remind me a little bit of like again, I was talking with Caitlin about TV Glow this week, and it reminds me of like kind of the pastiche that they put together of like Pete and that sort of thing, where it's like it goes into, it has some dark things that happen in the show, quote unquote, or whatever, some shit that looks fucked up, some shit that's weird, but it's all just sort of like dreamy and strange and doesn't make logical sense for the most part. It's just sort of shit that they put on screen. It sort of like strays away from its intended purpose, it feels like, of being for kids, and all of a sudden it's just like, oh, there's heads. There's just heads. Like, I don't know. I say that, but this movie does open up with a fucking drive-by shooting in the 50s.
Yeah,
Which-
what a weird.
Was that common? I don't know. In the suburbs, I don't.
The ice
follow.
cream man.
The ice cream man for some reason gets shot.
He ran afoul of some fucking mafiosos, I guess. And then later, he was in the asylum as well. Am I right about that? Like, he was delivering ice cream. Who was delivering ice cream to Clint Howard in that flashback towards the end? Somebody in a wheelchair was wheeled up by the nurse in his flashback and handed him ice cream. I thought that was like Butch Ripple or whatever.
I
don't
didn't.
know.
If it was, I definitely didn't notice that. But yeah, as far as I know, he's
Yeah,
dead,
he should be
but
dead.
I guess
He shot like 100
could have
times.
He
been.
should be, and maybe it was
could've
just like
been
a fantasy or something, or maybe I just confused some characters. But I thought that they called him Butch. He looked like Butch Ripple to me, and I was like, God, this guy's fucking alive. He's just like not mentally well. He looks and he can't walk. I don't know. Like, is that They didn't really cover any of that. He went to his fucking grave. It can't be him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
But it looked like him. Like I was so confused by this.
the scene where he goes to his grave, man, his hands are like always in the fucking ice cream, which grosses me out. But specifically that scene, he like puts each individual like M&M and sprinkle on the fucking. He's just like finger fucking the shit out of this cream. It
Well, I
is
don't-
gnarly.
I just said like it couldn't have been him because he was but like if this was a flashback, it could have met him in the asylum, but he didn't meet him in the asylum. He watched him get gunned down.
Watched
He
him
sat
die.
by
Yeah,
his
that's
body.
lots. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
don't think
confused
it,
by
yeah,
that. I must have been wrong, but like it looked like that's what I thought the movie was doing, and I was like, "What the fuck? Why now? What is this?" It was like in the last like 5 minutes of the movie.
You're working too hard, Randy.
Yeah, you're
Just-
working way too
probably.
hard. You're
Probably.
making me work way too hard.
Well, I mean, get to work, motherfucker.
Did you guys notice that oftentimes the ice cream was really just mashed potatoes?
I could see that if now that
I
you say
wasn't.
it, but
No, yeah.
it
Really?
looked just like
but it looked,
sloppy
yeah, it looked
cream.
really sloppy. Yeah, how was it mashed?
Yeah.
It looked always like it was just fucking melting. Not always.
Yeah, there's definitely at least a couple scenes where they use mashed potatoes, and
Really?
like it was more noticeable than others. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely some melty ass cream in this too. But yeah, they use mashed potatoes. I think the most obvious is when, whatever the kid's name is, he like walks out his front door, and his Converse are covered in cream and bugs. And if you look at the cream, it is clearly just like a
That
couple
makes
dollops
sense.
of mashed.
Actually,
potato.
yeah, I remember that, and
That makes
you're
sense.
right. It did look like potatoes. I just didn't really clock it. No.
Did you? Okay. Is this a
saw
common
it.
thing to call ice cream hard pack? What were they calling it?
I think that's a
Hard
regional-
pack?
hard
Hard pack.
pack. I've
Hard
never
pack
heard
is
it.
like the drums of ice cream.
Yeah, I
that
have
come
never
packed
heard that in
hard
my
a thing,
life.
and they're frozen, like as opposed to soft serve.
Soft serve,
Sure.
yeah.
Things like
It
that.
makes sense, but I
It
never heard it
does.
until
I
this
don't like
movie.
it for some reason.
Well,
Yeah, it's on some
I-
hard pack.
You're
Like,
gonna have
what
to
the
you're
fuck?
gonna have to dig into that with your therapist. I don't know if we got the answers for you.
I don't like it.
The one broad that is, well, there's like at least two super sexy ladies that just want to bang the shit out of the ice cream man in this. But
Yeah.
the one broad that's having the affair also comes and orders a couple gallons of hard pack, and she wants it delivered.
Dude, is that
Porn.
the same? Like, is that the affair? The lady that's the
Yeah.
other half of the affair, right?
Yeah.
Because he sneaks up and watches the dad like finish banging her on a fucking diving board, and
Blood
like,
rage
as he's
style.
pulling his pants up, she turns and sees him and is like, "Oh," and blows him a kiss or some shit.
Damn, she
She's-
hasn't
I'm like,
had
she's
enough
this lady.
sugar.
She's
And
down.
then she later is killed. He kills her later, and then he sips out what's left of her, and it's like some rings, some earrings, and a diaphragm. And I'm like, God damn, this movie hates this woman.
I missed that.
Yeah,
I did
me
not.
Oh
too.
yeah, he's like looking through. He's like, oh, hanging up
think-
the earrings on his spoons and stuff, and then he just sees a diaphragm. He's like, I don't know, and he puts it on top of a spoon. It's fucking weird. It's
My
so
God.
fucking weird.
Unbelievable.
One of the funnier parts, though.
Damn. I did the scene where he does end up killing the dad or whatever, and his head is like in a giant cone. I dig
Yeah.
that, and the marionetted heads are like really fucked up and twisted. There's like there is a decent amount of gore in this. The scene where he's like poking through an eyeball to like work it into the cream is pretty gnarly. It's
Oh.
not like super scary or anything, but some of the effects I think hold up pretty well.
I think they're fun, some of
Yeah,
them.
in a very,
I
very
think that's as
goofy
far as I'd
way.
go. Yeah. I
Um,
will say that the heads stand out to me as being like pretty good, pretty fun. They're like clearly traditional, like what do you call them? Not marionettes, ventriloquist dummies style, like
um,
mouth opening, like triggers and things like that. They just like threw some blood all over his hands or whatever, and then when he drops one, he pulls out an ice cream scoop, which I thought was a great way of justifying the lever that he uses to move their mouths.
yeah.
I thought that was pretty clever, so I like that quite a lot. And the heads generally looked as believable as you might expect from a movie from this era.
They also
They
they
were on
really
screen too long, but whatever.
they need to be very silly though, because this movie is doing some things that it like it's quality. It's like not really qualified to do. And even just like some of the aspects, like one of the kind of funnier scenes to me, just because it's so ridiculous. But at the same time, you could also be like, well, I don't know. This is like making this kind of sympathetic character. But when they just come in and fuck up his ice cream store
Yeah.
where where they have the warrant and they just fuck it up.
Yeah.
That shit
It's like
was
that
great.
scene in Wet Hot American Summer where they're trying to find a phone. They're just like
Yeah.
breaking everything they possibly can. It's
But-
fucking hilarious.
But yeah, his whole like, oh, do you have to like? But like we've seen him abduct like several kids at this point, and in any way, kind of like trying to make him this sympathetic character is a weird choice. I mean, they even go to the asylum, and that's got its own kind of problems, and like people are going wild. But like it really like needs to be as goofy it is, because otherwise you'd start to be like, well.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're
Yeah.
making some questionable choices
After-
here.
After they wreck all of his shit
Yeah,
and they
it's-
walk back outside, they're like, "Well, we didn't find anything, Ice Cream Man."
Yeah,
Everybody
like,
just calls him
this-
ice cream man.
All
It's
right.
just-
Later, Ice Cream Man, and then he threatens him kind of. He's like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
use dead cops for fertilizer,"
Yeah.
says Clint Howard. That's fucking great.
Apparently, Jan Michael Vincent, the cop that would wear the glasses a lot of the times,
Yeah,
was just shit hammered the entire shoot.
that's awesome.
Well, I
There's
mean, if you're gonna be
as-
shit hammered on set,
Yeah.
there's worse films to choose.
Yeah.
There was a couple scenes where you could see he couldn't hold his gun straight. He was like wavering, and like when they're in the asylum, like
Yeah.
and they see it's fucked up, and he's leaving, and he's walking through the
He's just kinda
hallway,
walking.
just not reacting to fucking anything. Like the dude is checked out.
That sounds great to me.
Well, and he's walking. I don't know. The whole thing is very funny.
Wish I could
The-
get
the
an
guy in the
acting gig where I'd
red-
just be fucking wasted.
Still
The guy
get
in the red
paid.
was his partner, right? Like the red shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So like when he was walking out and getting into the car, it was honestly that makes in retrospect that whole scene so fucking funny because the people are just kind of following him, trying to be menacing or whatever, and like they're chasing him, but he's not running. He is strolling his ass
Yeah.
down, and just like every so often he'll whip around with his gun and be like, "Get back," and then he'll come get back into his stroll. He wanders into his car, shuts the door, and they're all just like, oh. And then finally attack when he shuts the door, because what else are they going to do? I think they were supposed to be chasing after him.
He's like,
As
I'm
he
not
ran.
running.
And
I'm
he's
too
like,
fucked up.
I'm not going
I'm
to.
too fucked up to run.
That's awesome.
I am
I'm
not going to run.
That's awesome.
God damn. That was very funny. Oh my god. Yeah, so I feel like that some of this background information is making it funnier to me in retrospect. It's like
Yeah.
it's a funny
Good.
movie to talk about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would
It's
say
not
my
too
experience watching
long.
it. Yeah.
yeah. It's
not
My
not.
too
experience
long.
watching it the first time was like I genuinely was just like I was pretty pissed off that I spent the time to watch it. Honestly, I was like,
Damn.
this fucking kind of sucks. I must have been like late
Thanks,
college or something when I
Bob.
saw it.
You're welcome.
Oh, I thought you meant this week.
No. This time I had a much better time. That's what I was
Oh,
trying to
okay.
like.
Oh,
This
okay.
time around, like I feel like years of watching horror movies has given me a little bit softer of an opinion on these kinds of movies because I found so many that I find value in despite themselves.
Yeah.
And I see that in this, even if I didn't quite get a huge pull out of it. I don't think.
Oh.
I think that again, this is I really goddamn wish Sunray was still around so that we could screen something like this with them. I think it would
Yeah.
be a fucking blast.
Do a
dude.
live screaming and creaming segment.
Whoa.
Yeah,
What could
yeah.
have been, boys?
Bottomless cream. Oh, could have been great.
Bottomless
Free
cream.
hard pack.
Oh
Mhm.
god.
Price of admission.
I don't like it.
I
The
don't like it.
something that I was wondering, I didn't hear anybody say this in any of the interviews or anything like that, but they keep saying like you can only have happy, happy, happy days. Is this like are they referencing like, the Howard brothers, Ron Howard being in Happy Days? Like it just made me think.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, this is Clint Howard though, not Ron. I think it'd be
Yeah.
kind of like Ron is not involved in this as far as I know at all.
I don't believe so, no.
I feel like it's just like part of their like overdone justification for why this man is the way he is. It's kind of doing that thing that like Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Blood Rage did, where they just like over justify why he acts the way he does.
Yeah.
This
when
man's
really,
life is fucked.
yeah, like you could have begin and ended with the ice cream man being gunned down in front of him. That could be it. He just like was warped by that, spending his life, in an
Yeah, but then
asylum
you
where
got
they
these
didn't make
fucking
him feel better.
crazy nurses and clowns and
Yeah, like fucking John Wayne Gacy ass paint. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah,
That was definitely the John Wayne Gacy.
yeah.
Holy shit. So yeah, all that kind of shit. Like, it makes for good like filler that in a silly schlocky horror movie, and that's why it's there. But it feels like, okay, we get it. This man had no choice but to turn into a fucking head ventriloquist of an ice cream man that eats bugs and shit and kidnaps a fake Culkin brother for weeks on end.
Dude, that kid looks so much like Macaulay Culkin.
It's insane how much he looks like Macaulay Culkin.
When it first popped up, I was like, holy shit, because he looks like Macaulay Culkin in Page Master so fucking much.
He does. He's like somewhere between Macaulay Culkin and the kid from Jack O, in that he can actually deliver lines.
Yeah,
But
that
yeah.
was wild. Fucking Paul Wall. Yeah. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
the kid elements were pretty fun though. I will say, like approaching it from the kid, I mean, that's kind of like one of the best things about them like running to get their ice cream, them hanging out, and like their kind of friendship and like
They
the
have
family aspects of like, always if I known you're coming, I would have set a place, or like, what's your friend's name? It's so fucking stupid. I don't know. That just kind of like worked pretty well.
they have a gang and like they have uniforms. They're the rocket
Rocketeers or something.
Rocketeers. And one of the kids like shoots a fucking rocket at the cop car. Like these kids are not fucking around. They
No.
are
These-
the real
The
deal.
90s
Those kids are-
suburbs.
Yeah,
That is
kids on
that is
bikes.
not something that you can get away with in every neighborhood. I'll tell you that. But
Yeah.
the one thing that like drove me up the wall about this movie though, in terms of the kids, was the kid Tuna and his clearly stuffed with a pillow ass
It is.
fatness.
It is a
Like,
fucking
it is
pillow.
painfully clear that man is in like just a rectangular fucking pillow, and they just keep calling him fat ass and referencing his weight, but he's clearly a skinny kid with a pillow. It's only so that they can have a scene at the end where he's skinny and they're like, nice. And that's it. That's
Just
fucking
took the
whole
pillow away.
That's the whole arc. He was fat. Now he is not. All things are well.
Dude, that's the 90s, man. 90s were
Really,
fucked
like-
up.
yes, very. Like things are still fucked up, but like
Now they're great.
it's-
Now they're perfect.
we made it great again, everyone. We did it.
We did it.
I don't know, man. That shit cracked me up. I was like, is that kid wearing a fat? It's almost like imperceptible too, to the point like it's very obvious once you notice it. But at first, I was like, it just looks like the clothes are too big, but only in certain spots.
Yeah, they're
Like,
very awkward. Yeah, he looks.
fucking
He's wearing
weird.
one of those '90s drug rugs at one point too, which just
It's
really
a drug
sets,
rug.
sets it off. Like it looks kind of like a poncho, like a knitted poncho, like hippies would
I
wear.
know what you're talking about.
I'm not
They're like
familiar with it.
pullovers. but
Yeah.
yeah,
The like a hippie pullover.
yeah.
I
If
know
you
what
can-
ponchos are, so generally I can
Okay.
A
kind of
hippie poncho.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never heard it called a drug rug. though.
drug rug. Yeah, that sounds like good wholesome Republican upbringing to me.
You know it. Tuna, like as he's trying to sneak around the grocery store, was a pretty solid scene. I
I
thought,
love
'cause
that scene
Yeah,
It's
that
actually.
was
just
fun.
in the open, like you can see that motherfucker.
That scene
Also,
was
the
the most
woman-
"Are You Afraid of the Dark?"
It
Yeah,
was.
to me.
The woman
Yeah.
buying the lipstick. Why does everybody
Yeah.
want fucking the ice cream man's dick?
Because it's
I don't think she
so
did. I think she was just
sweet.
like they just needed something to distract him, and they're like, "Well, women be shopping, so put this lady in here." I'm like, I
Buy
think that's as far as
12
they got.
of them.
I
It's like,
believe
yeah.
that woman was the director's wife at the time, and she was a porn actress.
Get hammered. Oh, okay.
I forget her name.
Nice.
I assume
might
that
have
you
been
were.
shit
I assume that the end of all
Oh
of
yeah, I'm
these
familiar
pieces of
with
trivia
her
are,
work.
Shit
and they
hammered.
were shit hammered. This kids all shit hammered.
Shit
Very
hammered.
much a shit. Those weren't kids. They were 35 years old.
They don't have rum raisin, but they do have rum, and they drank that.
They drank it all. They got
Uh-huh.
hard packed on rum.
Also, who's his dude when he's like, I know your favorite flavor. It's butter brickle or whatever. And I was like, what are these flavors?
It's named
I
after
yeah,
the-
after the brickle
yeah.
guy. Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
just like butter brickle. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That is a real flavor. Like,
Is it?
Really?
Yeah, it's not. I think it's. Well, yeah, like you mean you know butter pecan is a flavor.
Yeah,
like,
butter
that's a pretty
pecan.
common flavor.
Okay, yeah.
It's, I think it's in that vein. I don't think it's very common anymore. I think that probably that was more like flashback to
Sounds
the
very
50s
old
sort of
school,
nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Like a peanut butter brittle.
sounds like
maybe-
something my
maybe
grandmother
yeah,
would. Yeah,
right.
want,
It's like just sort of like a little bit old school.
people
to
cream.
where
Sounds
old people.
good,
Well, don't-
honestly.
let's not bring old people cream into this. I don't like that phrase one bit. I feel very hard.
I
packed about
like
that.
old people cream.
bumps
Bumps
galore.
grenades.
Here to help. Happy to
Yeah.
help.
Oh my
Yeah.
lord.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
thought Clint Howard did a good job in this role, though. He doesn't totally carry the movie, but he's in the vast majority
He
of it.
leans into it. Yeah.
He's
And he's
creepy.
an
Yeah.
ugly man. So yeah.
Poor Clint.
I mean,
Poor
he kind of
Clint.
is.
I said that in an early episode, and I swear to God, I still feel really fucking bad about it.
You still
I was
wake
like, what a
up
hideous
at 3
man.
a.m.
Ugh.
People are listening to
boy.
Oh, not
that.
fair to Clint.
My boy.
He's not a particular. You know what though? For some reason, I was like, I wonder how old he is in this film. I don't know why I was thinking that. But he was 35 when this movie was filmed. So
All right.
yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I thought he did a great job to an extent. I feel like he brought some charisma, but he didn't like light up the screen necessarily with
No.
charisma. It was set pieces and along with him that made things run smoothly, I think.
In fact, I thought the middle of this kind of dragged its ass, to be honest. Like, even though
Yeah, I
it's
think so,
short, it's not long, but the middle, I really was kind of
It's
like, okay,
meandering.
let's wrap this up. It really is just based on a few like over the top kind of concepts, that kind of suburban lore. What if the ice cream man
but evil.
abducted kids?
Yeah.
Or
Well,
what?
the Pied Piper thing, like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
hammer on that pretty hard.
Yeah, what if the ice cream man was the one where all and the missing kids, that's where they're going into the ice cream. I mean, it's just that suburban kind of lore, and I mean that's really what it is, and then they just really schlock it up, and it's okay.
You could say the same thing about like Freddy Krueger, but like they just did something way more interesting with that in general.
Sure.
Like, and it's like, yeah, it's just a strange but very obvious ploy. It's like take something innocent and childlike, and then apply horror to it. You've got Winnie Pooh, Blood and Honey, basically.
Well, I mean, also too, this was 95. I mean, Are You Afraid of the Dark came out in 92, and that really, those Tales from the Crypts type of things like were really popular, and then you had this like kind of kid element too. So I think they were really just this wasn't a new thing. They're really, I think, just trying to kind of capture on that. And you think about, this is the perfect one, I would imagine in my mind, of like video store rentals. This would be
Right.
Totally. Yeah.
the one you would see the cover. It would probably be ridiculous with the ice cream or
I
whatever.
remember it.
This is just like one of those, like, what an ice cream man killer. You rent it for the weekend, you're young teens or something. I mean, that's what this is.
I agree, and I think that like it fits that role better than like I think of like Jack Frost from the similar. It was like the same sort of like almost bait and switch sort of deal at the theater at the
rental
at the Blockbuster
store
or whatever. Yeah, like you would see it like it was all about the cover.
It would catch your
1000%
attention.
about
Yeah,
the cover.
it was.
Yeah, that's what Silent Night, Deadly Night did. That's what all these fucking movies did. That's how they got successful on VHS, is by having provocative covers, and then you slip it in. This movie though, I think, is appropriate enough for those age groups of kids that want to have like a movie that has something twisted in it, or like, but like it doesn't go as far into like blue comedy as like something like Jack Frost, where it just like really lays that shit on thick, and it's very stupid, and I don't know, it feels very crass and mean spirited, whereas this only feels a little mean spirited.
Yeah, much lighter, much more goofy. I think it's a bit of a time capsule. These kind of things, I think are, just a relic of the 90s, like straight to video, pure goofy schlock nonsense. It's a vibe that, it might exist elsewhere now, but it's not quite the same. And I'm sure there's,
Well,
even though I didn't see this in 95, but I'm sure there's a bit of nostalgia for those types of things that plays into why I like this movie,
probably, man. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
But also,
I mean,
yeah,
and that's
it's
one of the things I like about it too. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Cheers,
I was
sorry.
gonna say it's interesting that we brought that up because even the idea of like you have to think about some of the like now we have more independent films and people can like maybe get a better chance of getting films like this made, but like the context I think is somewhat important because recently there was this post about Matt Damon talking about like the change in the film industry and stuff, and he was talking about the days when he would make like kind of crazy off the wall movies in the 90s and stuff like that, and he was like, well, if it didn't do good in the theater or if it like didn't make its money back in the theater, we were always counting on the physical releases to almost be like this second kind of release. Like there was this huge bump in revenue that specifically came from the physical releases after
That's why
the
they would
fact.
promote it. Like they
Yeah,
don't promote
exactly. Yeah.
releases like that anymore.
And
Physical releases.
so these like direct to VHS things that were made on the cheap, made to be silly, made to have these crazy covers, to be, and I'm sure there were, I don't know what the revenue deal was with like video rental stores or whatever, anything like that, but just like putting it in that context of like why would a movie like this get made or what would it be like to who would be seeking this movie out? It wasn't in theaters or like stuff like that. I think it's yeah, it's something that's just kind of like gone now that really doesn't make sense in the modern world.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you're kind of right that there's like there's a lot of movies getting made now. Yes, it seems like a lot more. It's like more broad, and the ones that are meant to be movie blockbuster type movies are like fewer and farther between because they're funneling so much money into those tent poles, like
Yeah.
more and more to the point to a fault, obviously. But like, it feels like to me, if I'm to go on Tubi, right, and look for new movies that are kind of in the schlock vein or whatever, more often than not, what I'm gonna get is something more akin to like Jack O, if that, or something that's more like A Haunting in Blank or whatever. That's
Yeah.
like, and it's something that's like 99% people running around in woods because it's cheap to film,
Sure.
and then like one scene to create a still for the whatever the menu on your Tubi account or whatever. I feel like it's the cheap movies are feel more cheap now than ever, and more bait and switchy than ever. I guess I don't really know why that is. Maybe I'm mistaken about that, but it feels like a movie like this where it's like very much schlock, but it actually like puts in a lot of effort into the set pieces and puts in a lot of effort into like at least like making it into a movie,
Yeah.
not just a collection of shots that make up a runtime of a movie. There's some of that in here, but mostly this feels like they are trying to make something that holds together,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
if they don't make that well. And I just don't feel like that's as common anymore. I feel like it's way more like just throw some bullshit on there, and if somebody accidentally clicks it or you trick somebody into clicking it, that's 30 cents for you. Like whatever.
You also have more to kind of like pull from too. I mean, this came out in 95 and obviously we're talking about they're not creating anything new here. They're trying to crib off the things that are already successful and really just follow that blueprint. People do the same thing, but they have more to pull from. Blair Witch blows up. Oh, you can fucking shoot a movie with a handy cam out in the woods and people will buy it and turn out for it. I mean, so people start to copy that, I mean, there's just more things to say we can do this and be successful and it's cheap. I mean, these kids posting videos on YouTube and then they fucking blow up and people try to mimic that. I think there's just more to pull from in the cheap realm now that it's like it kind of dilutes it.
It absolutely, well, yeah, and it definitely does. But also, and on top of that, it's like a Blockbuster Video location has a set number of spots where they can place a movie, and so, but like, there's no limit to what Tubi can stream, and they benefit from being able to say we have 10 billion movies you can watch.
Yeah.
So they will put like that's what Amazon Prime Video is just full of, just complete garbage shit that like is not out of place even on YouTube. Like you just have to sift through it like crazy. It feels like maybe that's why I feel this way, is because it's just the glut of it. It's just harder to sift through because you don't even have like a single location that
Yeah.
necessarily you can trust to make it a true, make it
That's
worth your
fair.
while in some way. It doesn't feel
Nobody's
that way to me.
curating these films for us.
Yeah, certainly not at Amazon. They are the worst offenders on that. But also the free platforms, the Tubies or whatever. There's a lot of that shit that goes in there. Even though
Yeah.
I'm dogging on Tubi, even though I like it quite a lot because they also provide a lot of like mid-ground shit like this that I
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah. Gentlemen, are there any other major points we want to touch on before we rate this thing?
Good.
No,
Yeah.
I think I'm good.
All right, let's get into it. Juice, why don't you kick us off? Out of 5, how do you feel about Ice Cream Man?
It's okay. It's not my favorite. But I recognize like where it came from and what it's trying to do, and I like some of the things it's pulling from more, and so that kind of softens the blow a little bit. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's nothing great. It's nothing special. The fucking soundtrack or the score is hot garbage. It's like I said, pissed me off a little bit. And it just like was blood because I never noticed those things, hardly ever. So for it to catch my attention in a negative way is really bad. I mean, the performances aren't amazing. The Ice Cream Man himself is fine. And there's some fun, silly things: the eyeball, the mouse running around on the ice cream, the little like dead parts in the freezer and stuff. Like that's fine. And like getting caught up in the thing where he uses to cut nuts and them just fucking shit up. And it's just silly, but it's not something I really will ever like crave to watch. I don't particularly want to watch it again. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know really what else to say. Some fun set pieces, some like goofy like effects and stuff like the head and the ice cream was, the best kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know, kind of dragged a little bit. I was definitely ready for it to wrap up. So I'll say like a 2. I think it's like a 2 film.
A 2 from Just Ton.
Just Tom?
Damn. It's like, I don't
Just Tom
Just
has
Ton.
voted.
just ton. Yes.
Bring
My
us your
boy.
opinion.
We've got like
Just
10
Tom.
names to pull from.
I know, and I can't get any of them.
Can't get one of them.
Fucking idiot.
Oh God.
Bob, out of 5, where are you gonna let? We'll let we need Randy to sleep at night these days, so
Right.
we'll let him go last.
Go
So,
easy on the boy.
Bob,
God bless you.
out of 5, where are you gonna rate Ice Cream Man?
It sounds like I'm the hottest on this one. It's I think it does fully deliver on its goofy ass premise. Like if you were to just like randomly click on this, on Tubi, or rent it from anywhere, I think you're gonna get roughly what you would expect to get. It reminds me a lot of that movie Parents, that cannibal movie. It has that kind of goofy vibe, and I think the first time I ever watched that was actually like a random click on Netflix, and that did deliver on the goofy premise. It gave me the cheese that I was looking for. I think Clint Howard does a really good job as the Ice Cream Man in this. He's off-putting. He's got the gravelly voice. The kids do fine. There's enough like random nonsense filler characters that are just doing off-the-wall bogus shit that like sort of makes everything surrounding the core story at least intriguing, even if it doesn't necessarily like feed the plot. But then again, I'm not really looking for like this giant, super well written plot filled with like great character arcs. I want the goofy schlocky nonsense. I think the effects hold up mostly well. Yeah, I think it's just a good time. I think it's big, goofy, silly nonsense, and sometimes that's precisely what I'm in the mood for. I think it's very like self-aware. I don't think it's trying to be anything more than it is. And I don't know. I dig it. I'm going to come in with a 3.5
Whoa.
for the Ice Cream Man.
Wow.
Randy, how do you feel?
Wow.
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 Randy was
yeah, so
agreeing with you until that score came out. The head was shaking,
You always-
and then
yeah,
the eyes look up.
yeah, you got me going. I was like, okay, some good points, some fair assessment. What the fuck? Yeah.
Oh my
like that-
God, Bob's
thought-
not gonna
oh my
sleep.
god.
I thought he was going to
Oh
be coming in high with the 3, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, definitely somewhere between you guys on this. Like, to me, it's like I understand the appeal that Rob's talking about. I do think that this movie achieved most of what it was going for, but I don't think that it, like, to Justin's point, like, achieved a quality score or achieved a quality performance from its actors who were
Yeah.
drunk. Like, I think that
that
those
is
things are
funny.
pretty fair to critique. It is funny, and that does add to the like sort of like fun schlocky experience. But on the other side of that experience, it's just like a mess of a movie that was. I agree with Justin. At what is it, 100 an hour and 26 minutes, still too long somehow. They over justify the Ice Cream Man to the point of like Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay, I've seen the
Jesus
Asylum. I know what the
Christ.
Asylum is. I don't know. I think that it's I think overall I like it just like the smallest smidgen more than I don't. That's how I'm feeling about it right now. So I think that that's going to be my logic that gives me a 2.6 for my score. Just over the 2.5.
2.6 from your boy Randeezy. That's gonna put our aggregate at a 2.7. Criminally low for the Ice Cream Man. So sorry. 2.7.
A 2.5 average would seem pretty reasonable, I think.
I
right.
think a 2.5 average might seem high for most people, honestly.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's yeah.
Well, let's find out as we roll into our Rotten Tomatoes segment.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Rotten Tomatoes segment in which I'm going to have these gentlemen guess within the best of their abilities what the aggregate of positive scores, excuse me.
Positive.
Holy shit. The positive scores are aggregated on RottenTomatoes.com. Let's find out what that aggregate score is. Little problem. There is no aggregate from critics for this film. In fact, it does not list a single critic review. Oh, wait, no, it does. 2 critic reviews listed here. That's it. That is
Damn.
it.
Are they both negative?
I don't have to say that. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I will say that both of them were post the 2000 reviews, so retrospects.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I can't give you guys that. So there is, however, an audience score. There's 2,500 plus ratings from the audience. So you guys, this is for all the bananas here. I'm going to start with Bob today. Bob, out of those 2,500 plus ratings, what do you think the audience felt about this movie in terms of positive scores?
This is a difficult one because like this is a somewhat of a cult classic. And I wonder how many of those people are coming to Rotten Tomatoes to rate this thing, and how many people watch this and like just hated every second of it and then left like a rage review. It's probably equally likely. So maybe close to the 50% ish, somewhere around where our aggregate landed, perhaps. So I'll do what do we do? 2.7.
Yeah, that was our aggregate. So we'll translate that into percentage.
Yeah, 55%.
55% from Bob. Juice, how about you?
Yeah, that's tough because it's the audience. I'm gonna have less faith in this film, but I think it's gonna fail me. I'll say 48. Try to keep it close.
48. All right. I love it when you guys go off the round and by fives.
Ooh.
Well, one of you is 3 points away from the correct answer.
Ooh.
And that's going to be Soju today. It's a 45%. You both highballed that one, but congrats to Juice on that.
Whoa, that's a hell yeet, Bob.
Damn it.
Does it qualify as a sweep without the second
It's
question? I don't think
it's an oops all yeet.
Oops, sure. Yes. That's That's what we're calling it for sure. Oops, all yeet.
Oh boys,
Forever.
I did want to ask you, do you remember, did you have any kind of go-to for ice cream back in the day from the ice cream man specific, like the ice cream truck?
Oh yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah, what were
I'll
some
tell
of
you
your
what.
faves?
I had a favorite that was just it was just corporate ghouls playing deeply into my need
Oh yeah.
to collect shit.
Oh.
There were some sort. It was basically kind of like a push pop, I want to say, that was Looney Tunes themed. But the stick, once you ate it, there was a different plastic molded character on each one that you were meant to
Mhm.
collect. And I collected the fuck out of those
Oh
things for
damn.
like 2 whole summers until they stopped having them. That was one, and then of course ice cream Sammys and bomb pops. Bomb pops do look cool.
Bomb pops. I remember talking
Bob?
about the corporate greed. Oh, I often like to get the Ninja Turtle ones.
Oh yeah, where the eyeballs are
So
never where they're supposed to be, or the
yeah, but
Spider-Man
they
doing the
are
same thing.
gumballs, I think, or something
Yeah,
like that.
they are gumballs. They're hard as fucking rocks too, because they're
Yeah.
set in ice cream.
And then also too that the push pops I remember were Flintstone themed.
Yeah, those were the main ones. Those are the
Yeah,
biggest ones for sure.
those push
I
pops.
think they still have those. Pretty sure.
Probably Flintstones like are timeless for some reason. They just keep
Well,
living
because
on.
they're just vitamin and ice
And
cream people
vitamin and
now.
ice cream.
That's all they are. Oh, and Pebbles people. I see.
Yeah,
They're
that's true.
mascots.
Yeah, damn. That's weird. Bob, what
Yeah.
was your go-to ice cream? Oh,
Bob's gone. That's not good.
Bob. Oh, that is not
Uh,
good.
he is gone.
I guess I gotta talk about my ice cream again.
Oh boy. He was kind of in that position for a few minutes too.
I
I
didn't
kinda
really
feel like he was
notice.
frozen.
Did he
I
say
wasn't.
he
I didn't think
say
he was
much?
frozen. Shit. Rob's dead.
I think he was talking about rain again. Fucking Florida.
Fucking Florida. Well, at least we have the
Florida.
backup.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Here it is.
Damn, man.
Wow.
Hey boys.
Hey,
Hey.
where we cut out?
Randy, you were talking about collecting the fuck out of those ice cream sticks for 2 summers.
And that's
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay. I can pick up from there. Sure.
Okay. Yeah, my Zoom just totally crashed. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't sure
But
how long we missed you for. Okay, yeah, let me know when.
yeah, let me hit record. I'll point at you.
So yeah, like that definitely was probably the biggest one that I remember because it fed that collector's bug. But there was also some just like basic ice cream Sammys and what else? Bomb Pops. Bomb Pops, they are exactly as cool as that kid said they were. That was very true to life. So yeah, I was happy with those.
Yeah. I was a corporate greed kid as well. I like the Ninja Turtles. The Ninja Turtle ice cream with the gumball eyeballs.
Yeah, the hardest rock gumball eyeballs that break your teeth open.
Yeah.
Because they're set in fucking ice cream.
Yeah, and my push pops were Flintstone themed. I always went for the Flintstone themed push pops. I don't remember the Looney Tunes ones, honestly.
I don't think it was very.
Were they
just
Tiny
like-
Tunes or Looney Tunes?
No, it was Looney Tunes. It was
Wow.
probably around. I think it was like
Surprising.
right around Space Jam. I don't think it was themed Space Jam, but I
gotcha.
think they were resurging because of that. And it was like 2 or 3 years they had this probably.
Makes sense.
Just a short-lived product rather. But yeah, the Flintstones are the big ones. The push
Yeah.
pops. They also that's all that Flintstones are mascots for fucking vitamins and ice cream and Fruity Pebbles, and that's about it.
They live
I love
on
those
in our
fucking
products.
those Flintstone push pops were my go-to.
They
for
were good.
sure.
Oh,
I
really?
loved them. And then later on, I discovered those strawberry cheesecake things.
Oh yeah, those are
Oh
good.
yeah.
God, those are good.
I don't think I ever had one of
Nowadays-
those till now. I'm thinking about it. They were probably at your house. Your mom was probably stocking up on them or something.
That's very possible. Yeah.
Mm.
Nowadays, I'm a Chipwich guy whenever I'm feeling the urge. It's Chipwich of some kind, or it's sorry, the thumbs up thing just came up on my Zoom. It's the Chipwich thing, or last night I had a Reese's ice cream pop that was very good. It was exactly what you might think a Reese's ice cream might taste like, and it had this
Nice.
little like stuff on the outside,
Yeah.
like your shortcake bar.
Ooh,
Right.
yeah.
It was good.
Little flavor balls, whatever.
Yeah, whatever they are. Like I don't know what they are, but they're good.
Nice.
Ice cream. Speaking of it, I'll
I-
go get my second cream. We'll continue on, boys.
Oh.
Continue on.
Yeah.
Randy.
Oh, oh, yes, yes, yes. Oh, 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 God.
It's still
Yeah, I really
going.
hope
It's
I really hope that you guys are listening to this in the car with your children and so on. That's my fondest wish is that we have corrupted your family with our bullshit. Bob, what were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say you and I we worked at an ice cream shop for a minute, and we made many customers just that happy with our cream slinging
Oh,
abilities.
yeah. Amongst other things, yes. Yeah, no, we were both cold stoners, which means we were mixing the cream ourselves, or we're making it in the back. It was not hard packed, but it was frozen in advance. I guess I don't know. I don't know if those are hard pack. I assume it's just the big drums of a cream.
Yeah, it wasn't soft serve, so I guess you'd call it hard pack. I don't know. We made it in house though. It was
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
good ice cream. I passed by one of those last night. That's what prompted me to get the Reese's Pop, is because I was like, I want ice cream, but if I go to Cold Stone, that's like 2 days worth of calories for me. I'm dieting. I have to figure this shit out.
yeah,
So, yeah.
it's no joke. Juice, what's your second cream?
So I really just had to try this, and like a little story before I got it is I was like going through the convenience store. They got these like bins, and they have a bunch of different ice creams in there. So I definitely I saw the cheese and crackers one. I thought, whoa, that's like super weird. But then this lady was on the other side of the bin, and she got like 5 of these, and I was like, what did she get? And I went there, and it's just so I really just had to try it. It's just salt. It's
I'm sorry,
salt.
what?
It's salt. Yeah, it literally
Like
says
sea salt ice cream? I
Salt
think
ice
that's-
cream. Yeah, but so I opened this thing up, and from what I could tell, it's like a vanilla pop. And I was like, is this ice or is it like chunks of salt? Like you
flaked
could see,
salt,
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's just straight up chunks of salt.
You sure you don't want like
Damn.
a shot of tequila before you eat that?
Maybe, but I think it's as far as I could tell, it's like vanilla ice cream or I don't know. So I'm gonna get into this thing.
Going in?
Going on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, listen to
Cream and-
that. Oh.
The sweet and
Mm.
salty action. I could see that working. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's
Yeah,
not just
I mean-
regular vanilla either. It's kind of like a yogurt vanilla.
Mhm.
It's good.
Nice.
I think this is a
So-
creaming, boys.
I am the cream.
It's a
That makes
creamer.
sense. It's
Mm.
like eating a chocolate chip cookie with some of the like molten salts on top of it.
Oh,
Finishing
that's
salt is good.
American cooking
Yeah.
right there. You know, that's
Ah,
the gourmet
yeah.
American cooking we're talking about.
Where do I put
Yeah.
the pad of butter I
Cookies
need on my cookies?
With the salt on the top.
Salted, flavored
Sawmill gravy.
butter, and yeah, like throw a little
no.
sausage gravy on there.
This is good. This is real good.
Nice.
So it is finishing salt sort of stuff on the outside.
Yeah,
But
it
it's not,
is.
it's not overpowering though. That sounds really good.
No, actually, yeah, it's quite like, yeah, it works really well.
I
Mm.
can
Way to-
definitely get that. I love salt. I love salt.
Way
so
to
much.
creep on a lady at the shop there, Juice. It really worked out for you.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes, that's what a boy likes.
This is good.
Salty cream. Nice. Well, we got one scream and one cream on the day. Not
Well
bad.
done.
Not bad.
You guys
Not
got a
bad.
bonus this week since it was ice cream man. We had to do 2. You know, we
Instead of
normally just do
one.
1.
Yeah.
Normally I just do the one scream or cream, and it
Now
works
we're
out really
doing-
well for us. It's everyone's favorite segment.
Mhm.
Everybody's always talking. What's the next scream gonna be? What's
What's
the
it
next
gonna
cream
be?
gonna be?
Everybody loves it. Always has. Cool. Boys, I do have a little bit of trivia. Let's go ahead and jump over into it.
right, let's do it.
It's totally time for trivia.
Bob, am I supposed to cue you up for this? Uh-oh.
That seems not good.
It's like, wait, shit. Is he waiting for me?
Okay, let me hit record again. For some reason, when I hit the next bump, it went back to the last cut I made and just started playing it. And I was like, why is Randy talking about ice cream again? Anyway,
Are we good?
So my
Are we
favorite
okay?
ice creams have always been like in the bomb pop. Right? No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, I'll hit record and then just start. I'll jump into trivia. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah, I got a few more points of trivia to get into here. So Clint Howard, your boy, was screaming and yelling at the top of his lungs while driving in his car on the way to work every day so that he could try and have a more gravelly voice.
Oh, all
Which
right.
seemed to work, and that's probably very sane, and he didn't freak anybody out doing that, I'm sure.
Like, if I saw Clint Howard driving next to me on a highway, screaming as loud as he can, I would absolutely flip him the sign of the horns of the devil. I'm gonna fuck yeah, man.
Yeah. Get it, Clint.
Clint's a metalhead. We know this.
I feel like this is probably not true, but I'm gonna read it anyways. This is from IMDb. It says this movie was sponsored in part by Converse, the shoe company Converse. Many characters wear Converse shoes, especially the classic Chuck Taylors, and there's a lot of shots of them, I guess, in the movie. That does not seem very likely to me.
I don't know. There was also I don't know. That seems all like it could be true, but also this movie shows a load of car brands, like close-ups of car brands, close-ups of the Kenmore fridge in the ice cream truck. Like they're not really working around brands. I think that might just be happenstance.
Happenstance, yeah, that makes more sense for sure.
Converse were hot in the 90s, boys.
Yeah.
Sure.
The scenes at the sanitarium were shot at an actual abandoned sanitarium in Pasadena, California. And apparently all the satanic drawings and graffiti and shit on the walls was already there. They just showed up.
That makes sense.
Does make sense. They could I don't know. It's got that Geraldo feel to it.
It does feel that way, yeah. I don't know who this is. I guess it's a baseball player. Steve Garvey was on the movie, in the movie.
Look at us. We're not going to know either.
Only worked for one day. I don't know. And he apparently just was signing baseballs for everybody and not really paying much attention to what he's doing. They just they had a handful of
There's
known
a running
folks.
theme here.
Yeah, it doesn't
just
seem like
signing baseball.
people gave much of a fuck.
No.
So-
It does not seem
sound
that
like
way.
that.
This is not the community coming together to put on a show. This is a bunch of people collecting a probably way lower paycheck than they're used to.
Probably. In addition to the list of random folks in here, the supermarket manager who asked a parent if they were going to take him to court was Doug Llewellyn, who was the original host and reporter on the People's Court.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
All right.
I never would have known that either.
Also known as not a court at all.
Randy. Don't
I don't
spoil the
believe-
fun.
What?
Don't spoil the fun.
How could they lie to us like that?
To lie to you, man. The media's in it for your blood, man. They want
What?
you. They want your money. They
What?
want your life.
No, I can
They're
trust
lying
the
to you.
television.
Telling
Totally.
you, pro wrestling's not real either, man.
Do kids
Come
even
on.
know what a
Shut up.
Head out
television
of the
is
sand.
anymore?
Shut up.
It's
On-
still real to me, damn it.
On
Still-
October 9th, 2014, a Kickstarter campaign started by Clint Howard began. They were trying to raise some money to make Ice Cream Man 2 Sunday Bloody Sunday. And it didn't make the money.
Oh,
Oh,
Clint,
no. Man,
how much is he trying to get?
It doesn't say how much he was trying to
$50.
get, but it does say that only 70 people signed up and they raised a little over $4,000.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's a bummer. Yeah.
I don't know if he cared
That
enough to do a
is-
Kickstarter. I want it to be made because
Oh
you know
man,
it
that's
seems
not
like
a
that's
bad
more care than
title.
most people give.
It's
this
not.
movie.
Yeah, that's not a bad title at all. That is
No, it's-
pitiful though. That I mean,
But
holy!
also-
I feel like we could probably raise $1,000.
Maybe we could make. We're gonna kickstart this movie.
For Clint.
Ice Cream Man-
Screaming and
Ice Cream Man
creaming.
keeps screaming and creaming. Yeah,
We got you, Clint. We
And there are
got you.
straight up pornographic scenes in this one because it's
Yeah.
called
Oh, yeah.
Screaming and Creaming.
We gotta have the Yabos.
We'll
I
be
mean,
the
yeah.
3 kids.
It's got. I
We're
mean, we.
hunting for dick.
Well, no, whoa. We need to separate those things. We need to separate those ideas.
Randy,
Randy.
Randy loves the
I
chaos.
didn't bring kids into this. No,
Oh.
blame me.
Oh, timing is not good on that one.
Anyway, yeah, join our Kickstarter now for Ice Cream Man 2, Screaming and Creaming. It's
We're gonna
totally
get-
up.
We're gonna get $5,000.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's
and
our
that's
goal.
enough to make it.
That's
Call my
enough.
boy Michael Felker. It's
Our boy Felker's gonna come along and help us
Oh,
out with this
shit.
one.
We got a couple we can pull from now. All right, who wants to compete over this? Michael, Franklin, which one?
We got 5 on it. Who wants it?
Who wants ice cream man do?
My boy Flanagan,
Screaming
he
and
might be on the
it's
horn.
all
Get him
just
on.
so fucked up. Ice cream man deuce, screaming and creaming.
Deuce.
Straight to Tubi.
Not
Yeah,
really.
it's
two.
gotta be deuce.
Deuce.
Ice
And Mang
Cream Man.
with a G,
It's got,
so that it's legally distinct.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Woo. Oh boys.
Fuck it up. This is the last piece of
Oh,
trivia,
boys.
and one of my favorite things that I've come to realize is that whenever we talk about a movie where the director's made a shitload of porn, I love going to IMDb and seeing the names of all the porn titles they've
Right.
directed.
No, yeah.
It is hilarious. All right.
Round them
So-
off.
Director Norman Epstein, who was previously known as adult film director Paul Norman, he made 127 porn films.
Holy shit.
And
He
I
was, only in
chose
he was only in the industry for a couple of years then, huh?
for like 6 months.
Okay.
I
Just
chose
one a day.
some of my favorite titles, and I'm just going to blast through them here. So
Blast them.
he directed By and Beyond 1 through 6. There's a series, of course.
Okay.
He directed a movie called Joined! Semicolon, The Siamese Twins.
Okay.
I'm
He
concerned.
He directed Edward Penis Hands 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, that's what
Hell
we need
yeah,
right
now we're
there.
talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I tried to find that on VHS for this show and I couldn't find it.
Mm,
But I
Did
did
you
find
now?
some stills that are very interesting, and I will
mm,
share them with everyone.
mm,
Okay, please do not. Please do
He directed
not.
The Erotic Adventures of the Three Musketeers, The Sexual Olympics 1 and 2, The Midas Touch, The Basket Trick. What is the basket trick? I want to know.
Oh,
If you have to ask, you'll
summer
never know.
child.
He directed Stick It in the Rear 2.
Now we're talking.
He directed Take the A Train,
Okay, I don't know what that's.
The
That seems like.
Ass
Oh.
Train.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's gross.
He directed Transitions, semicolon, An Anal Adventure. This one's for you, Juice. Intercourse with a Vampire. Just
Hey, there you
simple
go.
stated.
That's pretty good.
He's got a movie called Bimbo Boys. He's got another classic called Sperm Bitches. Another one
dang.
called called Bitches in Heat, Part 1, Locked in the Basement. And then finally,
Took a dark turn there.
finally, a movie simply titled Hungry Holes.
Damn.
Speak English, Doc. We ain't scientists.
I gotta talk about these Edward penis hands stills that I found, dude. So that the guy Edward, he looks like Edward Scissorhand. He's got. I envisioned that he would have like 4 or 5 dildos, one per finger. That's not the case. Each hand is just one giant dildo.
Oh no.
That's a.
And it
there's some medical questions I have about that.
It covers his hand and then tapers down to a wiener. It's not this. It's not like fist size. It tapers down.
So he's not going past the fist.
No,
Bob?
no, I assume not.
You're not assuming, Bob. We know you're not assuming. Anyway,
he's got a giant wiener per hand.
Okay.
And the still, I didn't find any sexy time stills, but I found the covers of the 3 tapes, and I found this one GIF/still. Do you guys recall the fucking scene in Edward Scissorhands where he's trying to eat spaghetti with his scissor hands and he can't do it? He's doing that with his dick hands. He's trying to eat spaghetti, and he can't do it. Unbelievable.
Oh
5 stars.
God.
5 stars.
Wow.
As long as he butters his bread.
God damn.
This giant.
Anyway,
dildos.
that's the trivia that I got.
God damn.
All right. That went places. I'll give it to
that
you.
got weird, Bob.
Yeah. We'll talk about this later.
Fantastic. Boys, I guess it's time for our Cooter of the Week.
Is it time for Cooter of the Week?
Straight chillin'. Cooter of the Week.
Juice, what is a cooter and why do we hunt them?
Whoa! Cooter's a character type in a straight chillin' exclusive. Cooter's a bit like ice cream. You got a couple different flavors you could choose from, but we want the cooter with the most points. I don't know.
The cooter.
Flawless.
The most flavors? I don't.
The 5 points of cooterdom are sexual deviance, manipulation, smug arrogance, overall looking attire, and overall patheticness. Boys, we got a cooter. We got a couple cooters, I think, this week.
I think that's probably likely.
I got 3 in my mind right now.
Oh, really? Let's start with one of your. Why don't you bring up one of your less
your ice
likely
cream cooters?
Okay, well
Yeah,
we could go
choices.
with is it Tuna's dad?
Tuna's dad.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Sexual deviance.
Sexual deviance,
He's a cheater,
manipulation,
unrepentant cheater, and manipulation. Yeah, just like fucking lying out of it.
and some smug
whole
arrogance.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
He's just
Classic
like,
90s
you can go
dad,
see Hard
really.
Target next week.
Yeah.
Don't tell your mother. Like
Yep.
that sort of shit. Like, yeah.
Hard target.
So manipulation, smug arrogance, sexual deviancy. So he's got it already.
Yeah.
He's got the 3. Man, cooter dad.
Overall looking attire, he's like a banker or something, right? Normal shit.
Yeah.
And then
Very normal-minded
patheticness. Does he get killed or something? I don't remember. Honestly.
Yeah, he's the head in the
put on
Oh
a
yeah. On the ice cream cone. Yeah, he's the ice cream cone. So yeah, maybe some patheticness there.
Yeah,
it's
definitely a solid 3.
He's a cooter, yeah.
He's a cooter, regardless. Yeah, we can quibble over the details later, but put him in lockup.
All right. And then I was also thinking potentially the cop brother.
Dude, yeah, that's a good call. That
Smug
guy,
arrogance, I think, for sure.
Smug arrogance for sure.
the badge will follow. I could not believe what I was hearing. It's like that's if it wasn't this movie, I would say that's like great commentary. He also just kept harping on Tuna, man. He just really did not like the name. Who needs to keep Tuna? It's like it's clearly not the kid's
But
real
also
name.
they were calling his brother like racer car or some shit.
Yeah, right. My brother's a race car.
My boy race car.
That's much cooler than Tuna. Big Tuna.
That's why I named it.
I
don't know.
Yeah. So he's definitely got the smug arrogance. They're talking. There's the insinuation of the pictures, but with the maybe sexual deviancy. But I don't. It's his girlfriend.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's
it's-
We've all
you know.
got nudies, boys. I mean, we've all got
I-
them.
yeah. Print
I
it
get
out
'em by the
hard
dozen
copy.
every
Oh
day.
yeah,
Yeah.
widespread. So we can't give him
Damn.
that.
Well, all right.
So he's definitely got smug arrogance. Maybe he just feels like a cooter, but I
He
don't know
does
if we
feel like a
can give
cooter.
him enough
He's a shithead.
points.
So I think he's kind of
Patheticness.
pathetic.
So he
goes
gets
out
taken out.
bad
Yeah, he does.
because of his fucking idiocy, his arrogance.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like maybe we could have got him for looking to tie or something, but I can't really remember what he's wearing.
Yeah, he was just like he was very like dated 90s shit.
90s
If I
kid.
remember
No
right.
drug rug though, so I don't
No
know if
drug
he's that bad.
Yeah. Manipulate. If
God.
we could get him on manipulation, we could book him. Is there any manipulation you guys remember? Oh, he does. He's supposed to take his brother to the movie.
Oh yeah.
And he just drops him off, and he's like, "Tell mom or be home on time or something." So he's kind
Mom
of
will
a
kill
little,
me,
little
and I'll have to kill
manipulation, little
you.
bit, little bit.
I think he's a
don't know.
light cooter.
Cooter light?
I don't
That's
think,
pretty-
I don't
that's
think it's
light,
enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cooter light.
I think he's got cooter feel to him.
He's
so
got
I
cooter
think that
feel.
he's
You're
got to
happy
be on
when
the
he
watch
dies.
list. Yeah, that
And
is
the
a
dad.
good point.
And the
but-
dad too. They're justified kind of kills. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are good cooters. And then
Yeah.
of course the ice cream
Clint.
man himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was kind of fucked up in the asylum, so there's some sort of excuse there.
No,
but
Bob, don't allow that. Don't play
I
into
would,
that game. Don't play
don't-
that game, Bob.
I mean, they
but
were injecting green goo into his
Bob,
brain.
don't play that game, Bob.
That was Ripple, Bob. It was for his good, his own good.
I thought they
uh,
showed him doing the same thing. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
But manipulation, he's like, "Hey kid, you want some free ice cream?" Scooping kids.
Yeah,
out.
it's a real classic manipulation
good.
tactic.
Not good.
Yeah.
Not
This is
good,
the
not
man
fun.
you're protecting, Bob. This is the
I'm
man.
Yeah.
I'm protecting him.
The man
Rob,
he's
why have you
duck-
chosen to protect this this predator, this child
Why,
predator?
Bob?
I love hard pack.
Do you just understand his person?
God damn.
You see through his eyes, Bob? What's going on here?
God.
What is
Um,
none of your business?
Yes.
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 So okay,
Um,
manipulation. A little bit of smug
Patheticness.
arrogance when he's like,
yeah.
I chop cops up and put him in the fertilizer. He's got a little swag to him. He
That's
fights back.
Debatable, I think, a little bit. I think he's pathetic as shit, though. Like, the
He's
thing
super
that I saw,
pathetic.
I immediately, the minute I saw it, I was like, well, he's got that cooter point, was when he was fucking found sleeping in the dirt in a fake garden for no reason. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Like, you've got
I
a
mean-
building you can sleep in and a truck. He's just like passed out in his Dudley Whites.
We've all been
fucking-
there.
I don't understand it. It's just like, it's just very strange.
Also too, he's picking up kids. That's not cool.
I don't know. Some of us on this podcast apparently feel differently, so I don't know.
I don't know who those people are.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say lock him up pretty hard, pretty quick.
Yeah.
I would also say that there's like in any given, like the main doctor at the asylum, the nurse, I think we
Yeah.
could parse them for cooterdom as well, because boy, there's some weird shit going on there. When they were like flashing back to it, I kept thinking like, okay, well, this is like his version of it. Like, this is how he saw it. There's a man in a clown mask running
Yeah.
around, like a John Wayne Gacy shit. And they're all saying this, like, you gotta be happy, gotta be happy. I was like, this is like stunted memory. But no, they go
That's
to fucking
really how it
asylum.
is.
And that's just like what it is. It's that plus extra gross. Like, that's it.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. So I think they could qualify. But I mean, Clint's got to take this one for top cooter of the week, right?
I suppose so.
Yeah, probably.
We-
Or
we
the
can give it to
dad.
him.
The dad had a lot
Yeah.
of points too.
But that had
Yeah.
a lot of easy points. But he's like, I don't know, like he doesn't have the riz of a good cooter in my
Yeah.
opinion.
But you are happy he's dead, so that kind of like sets him apart.
Sure.
I think I actually gotta throw another one out.
Whoa.
Heather's dad, the preacher. I think he's probably
David
yeah.
top dog
He
here.
did the stigmata thing. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are
Alright.
you doing? That's
So smug arrogance for sure, manipulation, like with
Yeah.
this stigmata and his.
when he says to the cop, he's like, come to sermon on Sunday. We're talking about
Yeah.
trust because he made him check on his daughter
check
for a
on
second.
his daughter.
What
He's-
the fuck?
Just watching his wife have a seizure and saying an angel speaking through her, like it's
What
just
a weird
fucked up.
detail.
But
Yeah.
call
Just
that pathetic manipulation.
Yeah.
What-
Smug
Is it supposed to be like
arrogance.
critical of the church or what? Like I don't know what the
It doesn't
point
really
of any
do
of that shit
anything
is.
with
No.
it.
Right?
Yeah, that's the
like,
problem. It doesn't really do anything.
there's no point to it other than like, look at this weird fucker.
At least all the other cooters kind of like get their comeuppance. Nothing happens to
Right.
him, right?
Nothing happens to him, and yeah, nothing does happen to him, and also like it just serves no function in the movie.
Yeah.
He's just
It's
there.
really weird.
Yeah, I kind
It
of wish
doesn't
he.
affect the
would've
character of the little
died.
girl, really.
Yeah,
Doesn't really do anything.
she's like fine. Yeah, she does.
Yeah. I don't know.
But he's a strong cooter though. Damn.
He is.
Yeah, I'd give it to him. Yeah, there's
Cool.
this movie's just chock full of cooters and
Lousy with 'em.
reasonless cooters. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
gather them up, round them up, throw them in the tank.
We got a,
We got 'em.
murderer of cooters. We got him.
All right.
All
job,
right,
boys.
boys. Let's go ahead and
Snap.
round the show out with a little bit of what we've been watching this week.
Hey, gang, what you been watching?
Randy, what you been watching?
Yeah, I have not. We've had house painters here all week, and we've basically had no free time or free space in which to watch anything. So I've watched very little, but I have watched two things, and interestingly, just by coincidence, they're both kind of like Japanese or Japanese inspired things. There's one found footage sort of mockumentary sort of thing that I watched. I mentioned it on the Slack called Psycho: The Large Family. I saw somebody talking about it on YouTube briefly, and like the first minute of their video is like, it's deeply committed to its functioning as if it was real, the way that like Ghostwatch did. And I was like, immediately I was like, okay, if it's committed the way Ghostwatch is, I'm interested. I'm going to check this out. And so I stopped watching the video and I watched the movie. And it's a very bizarre movie that I'm desperate to talk to people about.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure what to make of it in a lot of ways, but there's definitely some shit going on under the surface in this movie, and it's like it's just very difficult for me to like figure out what it is. I really want to I want to have an episode about it just so that we can talk about it and like theorize, because it's like I don't know that there is an answer. What I've come to understand since watching it is that it might be the middle of a trilogy, and it's just which might make some of the loose ends or strangeness make sense, but it does not taken as a singular thing. Me watching, I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy. So the basic conceit is that it's a British woman, I think she's British, who's like this like very sappy reporter who's visiting this unusually large family in Japan where the birth rates are low, and they're making a big stink about like how hard it is to raise kids or whatever, and like this many kids or whatever. So let's go see a family in Japan that does this. And it seems kind of normal at first, and then one of the kids just beats the shit out of the dad, and then it just kind of goes off the rails from there.
Damn.
It's
Damn.
very crazy. And like I'm talking like a 14-year-old girl beats the shit out of dad. It's
Damn.
very strange.
What's
Yeah,
it
I don't
called
want to say
again?
more. Psycho, that's Seiko, The Large Family. It's on YouTube for free. Please, somebody watch it and talk to me about it. I'm very curious to hear what other people think about it. Aside from that, the other thing I watched was I found this artist randomly on YouTube, this musical artist that I'm just like super into all of a sudden. I really enjoy it, called Ginger Root. Is this dude or this band rather, out of LA, headed by this dude, Lou. He's Japanese American, I believe, but like a
Thanos.
lot. Yeah, Lou Sanus. Yes, that's his name.
Yes, my boy.
It's Hugh's brother, long lost and
yeah.
from another mother. But
Speaking
yes,
of,
no, it's like this. I love the way he described it, and I wish I could remember it specifically. But his music, he described it something like soul, aggressively soulful elevator music, and it's like 70s ish, like. And all the videos, they kind of have like a little bit of a lore through the videos, and they're all in this like 70s, 80s, really more 80s, Japanese television style, and it's done so fucking perfectly. The music videos are half the reason I love this work, and I watched so many of these things. There's a bunch of them from the last, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, and he just, like, I think this year came out with a new album that's just like full of a couple songs that I cannot stop singing. They're fucking great. I'm really enjoying it. Ginger Root, look it up.
Cool.
That's it for me. Juice, how about you?
So I've been still watching stuff for Fantasia, but finally I have been watching a little something else, which is just The Bear season 3, because it is now on Disney Plus, and the episodes are pretty short, so which is nice. But yeah, it still feels pretty consistent to me so far. I'm not like too far into it, but yeah, it is a show, like, it's hard because it's like generally kind of like stressful and depressing, so like you have to like be careful a little bit. But yeah, generally it's still digging it. It's from last year. I went through season 1 and season 2 back to back, so yeah, I had to remind myself a little bit of some of the details, but it's still good. It's still good. Looking forward to finishing that. Bob, what you been watching?
Just a few things. I watched a movie called Kung Pao from like 2000, I think. And
Yeah, that's
That like
the
comedy
kung fu
thing,
comedy, right?
Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. The majority of the movie is like this guy green screens himself into this old
That's
ass
right.
kung fu movie, and they overdub everything, and like it's extremely silly. Our shouts out to our boy Franklin. He came over and hung out and wanted to put this movie on or whatever. I'd seen it when it came out, but like I didn't remember hardly anything about it. It's very funny though. I think some of it, at certain points, the jokes are kind of stale, but in other parts, the jokes land really, really well. So it's, if you want something kind of different, I think it's probably worth at least a one-time watch, especially if you partake in the Devil's Lettuce.
Whoa.
I think this would be a perfect film to
Bob,
watch.
you're not been into that, are you?
Nope,
Rob.
I am not, because I cannot.
Your governor wants a word, Bob.
Your governor.
Yeah. Check out Kung Pao. I did a Ghostbusters
Ghostbusters.
double feature.
I like Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is on Netflix now, and I was morbidly curious about that. Alice and I put it on, and it's quite bad.
So you watch Ghostbusters and then what, Frozen Empire? You said double feature, right?
Right. So no, Frozen Empire first, then the Ghostbusters 2016 movie with the female cast.
Oh,
Okay.
Wow.
So-
why are you doing this to yourself?
Yeah.
Not that bad in retrospect, in my opinion. It's not good.
I-
but
I agree. Well, let me finish talking about Frozen Empire. Yeah, we put it on. It's 2 hours. They make you wait 80 minutes until you see the big bad. Like a full runtime of a movie before you see the bad guy. It's like it's a comedy. It's supposed to be a comedy. There's like 5 jokes in this thing. It's so super self-serious and just boring as fuck. It is so boring. I do not recommend it. It's
Why is
Alright.
it doing this?
terrible.
Why
It is
it doing this?
It is a terrible movie.
Alright.
So yeah, we put on 2016, and I hadn't seen this one since it came out. And in comparison, like I much prefer that to Frozen Empire or Afterlife. I think it's substantially better. It's at least funny. Like it
it's
has
attempting to be, at least.
yeah, at least attempting to. It has jokes.
right.
It is a lighthearted adventure comedy.
All
like
of
a
this spawned from
Ghostbusters
one
movie.
good movie.
I know.
Yeah,
it
one
is.
movie about like, and this is what like Red Letter Media always says, like it's a movie about a bunch of friends starting a business. That and all the hijinks that they go up through. The ghosts are kind of incidental for the most part until the
Yeah.
end, and it's like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. These movies are entirely about people wetting themselves about Ghostbusters merch and shit. Like this feels like a
100%.
Funko Pop movie.
It is. It's the biggest like fanboyish, fan servicey shit. Paul, specifically Afterlife and Frozen Empire, like Paul Rudd he's the guy that supposedly grew up watching Ghostbusters and fucking jerks off to that shit. Because every line he says is just like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh, that's so cool. I can't believe I get to do this. Dang. Like he's that guy, and it's like the cringiest shit. It's like Paul Rudd deserves better.
Oh,
He
no.
does. I do not like those movies at all. They're terrible. They gotta stop making them. I'd rather see a
They
sequel to the
gotta
2016 movie.
They have
Honestly,
I'd rather watch
fucking
Mac and-
Jurassic Park,
yeah.
Ghostbusters, man. They just
Yeah.
gotta milk that shit into it's like just make a medium film, even just make an okay film. Like
Yeah.
just do something.
If they could do that, they wouldn't have the two movies they've got. I don't
Hire
think.
Straight Chillin'. We've edited movies on this podcast millions of times.
We
We
have-
fixed it.
Millions
For
of
free.
times. As often as we have screamed and creamed, we've edited.
We're handing out free
We'll
gold
edit that
over here.
script for you. Just call the boys over here. We know what's up.
So
Goddamn.
yeah, that was pretty much it. That's what I've been watching
Throw
this week.
some
Not a
poop jokes in there.
not
It'll
a
be
ton of
gold.
stuff. Punch it up with some
So
dick and fart jokes. You know, that's
I mean, this man has no dick. It literally was. It would burst out of the fucking primordial ooze with dick and fart jokes. Like that's what this thing is.
yes.
Very
I
dumb.
agree.
Very dumb.
I agree. Also, in Frozen Empire, a 14-year-old girl totally gets honeypotted by a ghost. It's weird.
I don't
And
care
which
for
one?
any part of that.
The Frozen Empire movie,
Oh.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. It's strange.
Weird.
Yeah, that
Anyway.
doesn't seem like I don't know. We've already done enough damage on this podcast with this shit.
Yeah.
So let's
That's-
move it on.
That's what I've been watching. We don't have any voicemails this week, but if you guys are listening and would like to call and leave a voicemail to be featured on next week's show, you can do so at 904-638-3231. Next week, we're going to be watching another You Pick. This one was chosen by your boy Brandon. The movie is Frogman from 2024. It is a new release. It is on Screambox. I think you can rent it really anywhere. It should be really easy to find. It like just came out back in March, April, something like that.
No guarantees anymore though, but yes,
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
Frogman.
Yeah, I went looking for TV Glow, and you cannot get it unless you're willing to spend $20 for a permanent streaming license. Permanent meaning until they take it away.
Wow.
Ah, Jesus.
Fucking
Christ.
dumb.
Oh God.
Awful. Stupid. I hate it.
So we were talking about his brother, and I thought, hey, you know what? It's been a while. We need him to check in, one, to make sure he's alive, but also two, to make sure that we get at least one more, hopefully a couple more in before 500 hits. But I'm throwing up the Janus signal.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna throw it up.
Ah,
We haven't heard from Janus in a hot minute, and he needs to keep us updated, make sure he's still kicking.
Man, you're just assuming
God.
Joe Bob, Hugh, like people are on the precipice of death to you. God damn.
So you call in. I don't talk about anything. You want nothing specific, I guess. We are heading into spooky season though, boys. Here we go.
Yeah.
No, man. Like the stores are stocking up. I
Uh-oh.
passed through a Home Goods this week, and
I mean,
buddy,
Yeah. August is the normal time when, you start
Yeah.
seeing the pumpkin beers pop up. It's when fantasy football drafts are going to start
Yeah.
kicking off. I mean,
Pumpkins.
football's coming. We got preseason coming. I mean, ball's rolling, boys. It's heading
I
our
can
way.
feel the fall. It's like it's getting crisp outside, isn't it, fellas?
Whoa.
No, it's
Oh,
fucking-
yeah.
No, it's a million degrees.
I'm sweating thinking about being outside right now. Yeah.
It's very humid.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. But yeah, call in 904-638-3231. Check out Frogman. Get ready for next week's show. Until then, you can find us on all the social media. We're everywhere. Just search Straight Chilling Podcast. If you want to join in our daily Slack channel conversations, hit us up on social media and say so. I'll send you a link so you can join in on the fun. And until next time, as always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.
Check it out.